Hey everyone and welcome back. We're diving deep into Lisa Nichols' book, No Matter What, 9 Steps to Living the Life You Love.
Oh, yeah. I love that book.
It's all about building resilience. And she breaks it down into these 9 bounce-back muscles.
I like that.
I'm intrigued. What really struck me is how she uses her own life experiences to illustrate these muscles. And some of them were pretty intense.
Absolutely. I mean, like right in the beginning, she talks about facing racial prejudice when she integrated into a predominantly white school.
Oh, yeah. That's a powerful example of how early experiences can shape our understanding of the world and ourselves.
Absolutely. Imagine having to go through that.
At such a young age.
So young.
Yeah.
It could have made her withdraw or become distrustful, but instead it was a catalyst for developing what she calls the understanding muscle.
So it's not just about being nice or tolerant. It's
deeper than that.
Deeper than that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's about developing the capacity to see situations from multiple perspectives and to recognize that everyone is operating from their own set of experiences and beliefs.
That makes sense.
Including ourselves.
Yeah. Now, she also tells this story about her college roommate.
Oh, yeah. Susie.
Susie, yeah. Who was terrified of her.
Yeah.
Because she'd never interacted with a black person before.
Right. And it would be so easy to just write Susie off as prejudiced or ignorant.
But Nichols takes a different approach.
She does. She really embodies this understanding muscle.
Yeah.
Because instead of reacting with anger or judgment, she chose to understand where Susie's fear was coming from.
Which is amazing.
And what's interesting is that through that empathy, Susie actually was able to confront her own prejudices.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how can we cultivate this understanding in our own lives? Especially today, it seems like there's so much polarization.
You know, I think it starts with recognizing that fear often underlies prejudice and judgment. When we feel threatened or insecure, we tend to categorize people and situations to reinforce our existing beliefs.
Okay, so being aware of our own fears and insecurities can help us see other people more clearly.
Me clearly, and be open to learning from people who are different from us.
That's insightful. Okay, so the next muscle is the faith in myself muscle.
Yeah.
How's this different?
Ooh, good question.
From just positive thinking?
It's way more than just slapping on a happy face and pretending everything's okay.
Right.
This muscle is about developing a deep belief in your own abilities and your capacity to overcome challenges.
So trusting your intuition, believing that you can succeed.
You got it.
Even when things are tough.
Yeah.
I've been struggling with self-doubt lately.
Oh, yeah.
I tend to focus on what could go wrong instead of what could go right. And it really holds me back.
Oh, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Nichols talks about how that internal dialogue, you know, those voices in our heads can sabotage us or empower us. It's like having these little gremlins whispering doubts and fears in our ear.
Oh, absolutely. I have a whole chorus of them sometimes. How do we silence those gremlins?
Well, one technique she shares is called the forehead press.
Forehead press? What is that?
So you gently press on your forehead to interrupt negative thought patterns.
Interesting. So it's like a physical cue to kind of shift your focus.
Yeah, like hitting the pause button on those negative thoughts and giving yourself a moment to reframe.
Okay. I'm willing to give it a try.
Okay, cool. And then another thing is surrounding yourself with supportive people.
Okay.
What she calls rocket booster friends.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Rocket booster friends.
They're the ones that believe in you, encourage you, and lift you up when you're feeling down.
Yeah. I've definitely noticed that being around negative people can just drain your energy.
Absolutely.
But those positive, supportive friends can be so energizing.
It's like having a personal cheerleading squad.
Totally.
To remind you of your strengths and your potential.
Okay, so those rocket boosters are key. Now, what about taking action?
Okay, well, that's where the take action muscle comes in.
Okay.
This is all about moving from complaining to actually doing something about it, taking those small, consistent steps toward our goals, even when we don't feel like it or we're afraid of failing.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of overthinking.
Oh, yeah.
Procrastinating sometimes.
Nichols calls it lying on the nail.
Lying on the nail.
Yeah.
You know, you're complaining about the discomfort, but you're not actually getting up to do anything about it. To remove the nail.
Ouch. It makes sense. I like that analogy a lot.
And she quotes Les Brown, who says, "You are the master designer of your life.
Yeah.
It's your job to design the life that you want.
So we have the power to create the life we want.
You do.
It requires taking action.
Yes.
But what happens if we don't even know what our goals are?
That is the perfect question to lead us to the next muscle. The I know like I know muscle.
Okay. What is that?
Yeah.
I know like I know.
This is about cultivating that deep inner knowing, that sense of trust, that things will work out for the best.
Okay.
Even when you can't see the path forward.
So it's more than just having a hunch?
Yes, way more.
Yeah.
It's about connecting to something bigger than ourselves.
Okay.
Whether that's intuition, a higher power, or just deep inner wisdom. It's trusting that there's a plan, even when we can't see the whole picture.
Okay, so how does Nichols explain this? It sounds a little mystical.
Well, she talks about her own journey with faith. And it wasn't easy for her.
Okay.
She had a difficult experience with religion as a child.
Right.
That made her feel judged and unworthy.
Yeah, remember Sister Brown?
Oh, yeah.
In Sunday school?
The stockings.
Yes, stockings.
Yeah.
It made her avoid anything to do with religion for years.
She did.
Yeah.
But eventually she found her way back to spirituality through a more accepting and supportive community.
Okay.
And that reconnection helped her develop that, knowing that everything would be okay, even when things were tough.
It sounds like this muscle is about finding that source of inner strength and guidance, whatever that looks like for you.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be religious.
Right. So how do we strengthen this I know like I know muscle?
Well, one way is through mindfulness practices, like meditation or journaling.
Okay.
Those help quiet the mental chatter and tune into our inner voice.
So becoming more aware of our thoughts
Yeah.
and learning to trust our gut instincts.
You got it.
Okay. This next muscle.
I think we could all use a little more of the honesty muscle.
Oh, that's a good one.
This one's crucial for personal growth.
It is.
But it can also be one of the toughest to develop. It's about being truthful with ourselves and others, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient.
Very uncomfortable sometimes.
It's so easy to fall into self-deception, telling ourselves those little white lies.
It's easier
to avoid facing the truth.
Yeah.
Nichols actually shares a story about becoming a single mother. Initially, she hid that her child's father was incarcerated.
Wow.
Because she felt ashamed.
It's a big secret.
Keeping a secret like that must have been incredibly draining.
I can only imagine. She was living a lie, and it prevented her from truly connecting with others and moving forward.
So she was stuck.
Yeah. Until she finally confessed the truth to her best friend.
And it was liberating.
It was. It was a huge turning point for her.
So this honesty muscle is about acknowledging our reality, even when it's painful, and taking responsibility for our choices.
Absolutely.
It sounds like it takes a lot of courage to develop this muscle.
It does. It requires vulnerability.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly empowering.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see how these muscles all connect and build upon each other.
They do. They all work together to build resilience.
Okay, what's the next muscle?
All right. So next we have the forgiveness muscle.
Forgiveness, that's a tough one.
It is. It's about releasing resentment and finding peace.
It's so easy to hold on to grudges.
It is. It's much easier to hold on to the anger.
Right. But Nichols makes this point.
Yeah.
That forgiveness is primarily for our own well-being.
Yes.
Not for condoning the other person's actions.
Oh, none of them.
Right. How do you actually do that?
It's a process.
Yeah.
Not a one-time event.
Right.
She uses this analogy that I love.
Okay.
She says, your next will pay for your ex.
Whoa. What does that mean?
So if we don't forgive our past hurts, we're carrying those emotional scars with us.
Right.
And they can sabotage our future relationships.
So we end up projecting our past pain onto new people.
And we might even miss out on great relationships or opportunities because we're clinging to those old wounds.
Wow, that's so true. I'm seeing how this forgiveness muscle is so important for moving forward and creating healthy relationships.
It's essential.
Okay. What's the next muscle?
All right, so next we have the determination muscle. Now, we've already touched on Nichols's strength and determination.
Yeah, and escaping that abusive relationship.
Right.
It's a powerful example.
Yeah.
But how do you keep going?
Yeah.
When everything inside you is screaming to give up, it must be more than just willpower.
It is. She talks about the importance of having a clear vision of your goal, what she calls your dot.
Okay.
And in her case, her dot was escaping the abuse and creating a safe and loving environment for her son.
So having a purpose.
Yes.
Something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
To fuel that determination.
Yeah, exactly.
But I imagine there were times when she felt overwhelmed, exhausted, maybe even tempted to give up. How did she push through those moments of doubt?
Well, she's very honest about the toll that the experience took on her. She talks about how she struggled with anxiety, exhaustion, and sadness.
Yeah.
She even contemplated taking medication for depression.
Wow.
But then she realized that she was teaching other people how to overcome adversity, but wasn't applying those principles to her own life.
It's like that saying the cobbler's children have no shoes.
Yes, exactly.
So what did she do?
Well, she decided to take her own medicine.
Okay.
She started practicing what she calls taking an emotional inventory.
We talked about this earlier. So it's about acknowledging and processing those emotions rather than trying to suppress them.
Exactly. Recognizing that emotions are like waves.
Okay.
They're going to come and go.
Yeah.
And it's healthier to ride them out than to fight them. She used journaling, meditation, Rololand exercises to help her work through that trauma and begin to heal.
So she used her own tools to heal herself. That's amazing.
It is. It shows that these tools aren't just theoretical.
Yeah.
They actually work in real life.
That's a good point. So to build that determination muscle, it's not enough to set a goal and just grit our teeth.
It's not just about willpower.
We need to cultivate emotional resilience and self-awareness.
You got it.
Okay, I'm feeling pumped up. What's the next muscle?
Okay, so now that we've talked about determination, let's move on to the say yes muscle.
Ooh, I like this one. I'm all about saying yes to new adventures.
Yeah, and opportunities.
This muscle is about embracing the opportunities that scare us, those chances that push us outside of our comfort zones and challenge us to grow.
I can relate to that. Some of the most rewarding experiences in my life have come from taking risks and stepping outside my comfort zone.
And I think a lot of us resist that.
Yeah.
We get comfortable in our routines and habits, and it feels scary to venture into the unknown.
Yeah.
But Nichols argues that discomfort can be a sign that we're on the right track.
So it can be a good thing.
It can be. If we're stretching ourselves, expanding our horizons.
It's like that saying, growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
Exactly. And she tells this hilarious story about speaking at a conference without her luggage.
Shit!
Yeah. Her suitcase got lost.
No.
And she had to wear someone else's clothes on stage.
That's every speaker's nightmare.
No.
What did she do? She was mortified at first.
Oh, of course.
But then she realized that her message was more important than her wardrobe.
Oh, wow.
And you know what?
Yeah.
The audience loved her even more for it.
So her vulnerability made her more relatable and human. That's amazing.
I know.
So the say yes muscle is about being open to new experiences.
Yeah.
Saying yes to those opportunities that challenge us to grow, even if they're scary.
Yeah.
But how do we know?
That's a good question.
When to say yes and when to say no?
It's about being discerning. Nichols talks about checking in with our intuition. Does this opportunity feel right? Does it align with my authentic self?
Okay. So it's about finding that balance between pushing ourselves and honoring our boundaries.
Absolutely.
Okay. I love that. Now the last muscle.
Okay.
The highest choice muscle.
This one is all about aligning our choices with our deepest values and long-term goals.
So it's about making choices that are good for us.
Yes.
Not just in the moment.
Yeah.
But in the long run.
The big picture. Yeah. We live in a world that's full of distractions and temptations.
It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day.
Yeah.
I know I get so focused on my to-do list, I forget to ask, why am I doing this?
Yeah. But the highest choice muscle is about making those conscious choices that support our well-being.
Yeah.
Nichols talks about how contemplating her own obituary helped her get clear on her priorities and make choices that reflected her values.
That's intense. It makes you think about your legacy.
It does. What do I want to be remembered for?
Right. What kind of impact do I want to have?
Exactly.
So to build this highest choice muscle, it's about being mindful of our choices. Asking ourselves, does this move me closer to the life I want?
Absolutely.
Does it align with my values?
And it's about recognizing
that even small choices can have a ripple effect.
Wow. That's a good point. So it's not about being perfect.
No.
Or making the right choice every time.
It's not about perfection.
It's about making the best choice we can with the information we have and learning from our experiences.
Absolutely.
I'm really struck by how all of these muscles are interconnected.
They are. It's not enough to just have determination or say yes to opportunities.
We also need to be resilient.
Yeah.
Practice forgiveness. Make choices that align with our values.
It's like a whole body fitness plan for our minds and spirits.
This has been so insightful. I'm feeling inspired to put these principles into practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of putting things into practice in the next part,
we're
going to delve into some of the exercises and resources that Nichols offers to help us strengthen these muscles.
I can't wait to hear more about that. So be sure to join us for part 2 of this deep dive.
We'll be back in a flash.
Can't wait.
All right, we're back and ready to dive into those final 3 bounce-back muscles from Lisa Nichols's No Matter What.
Yes. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
To flex those muscles?
I am. Where are we starting?
All right, well, we left off with the 7th muscle, the determination muscle. And I think it's worth revisiting Nichols' experience escaping that abusive relationship because it really showcases this muscle in action.
Right. It wasn't just about physical strength.
No.
It was
about resilience.
Yeah.
Strategic planning and that fierce determination to protect herself and her son.
In the last part, we talked about connecting to your why.
Yeah.
That deeper purpose that fuels your determination. What happens when you face setbacks or obstacles?
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated?
That's a great question.
When things get tough.
That's where the DOT concept comes in.
Okay.
Remember, she emphasizes having a clear vision of your goal.
Right, that dot on the horizon.
Yes, exactly.
That you're aiming for.
Your North Star to guide you through the storms.
Okay, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
But I imagine there were times when she felt overwhelmed.
Absolutely.
Exhausted, maybe even tempted to give up.
Yeah.
How did she push through those moments?
Well, she's very open about the emotional toll it took on her. You know, she talks about how she struggled with anxiety, exhaustion, sadness.
That makes sense.
And she even contemplated taking medication for depression.
Oh.
But then she had this realization that she was teaching other people how to overcome adversity, but wasn't applying those principles to her own life.
Like the cobbler's children have no shoes.
Exactly. And it's a reminder that we all have those blind spots.
Yeah. So what did she do?
She decided to take her own medicine, let's speak. She started practicing what she calls taking an emotional inventory.
Right, acknowledging and processing your emotions.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to suppress them.
Exactly. Emotions are like waves. They're going to come and go.
Yeah.
It's healthier to ride them out than to try to fight them. She used journaling, meditation, even role-playing exercises to help her work through the trauma and begin to heal.
It sounds like she was using the same tools she teaches to heal herself.
It shows that these tools actually work in real life. They're not just theoretical.
Right, they're practical.
Yeah.
So to build that determination muscle, it's not enough to set a goal and just grit our teeth.
It's not just willpower.
We need to develop emotional resilience and self-awareness.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm feeling ready to take on the world.
Yeah.
What's next?
All right, so now that we've talked about determination and perseverance, let's shift gears and explore the say yes muscle.
I'm all about saying yes to new adventures and opportunities.
So this muscle is all about embracing those opportunities that scare us, those chances that push us outside our comfort zones, challenge us to grow.
I can relate to that. I found some of the most rewarding experiences in my life have come from taking risks, stepping outside my comfort zone.
Right. And I think a lot of us resist that.
Yeah, we get comfortable.
We do. We get comfortable in our routines, and it feels scary to venture into the unknown.
Yeah, it does.
But Nichols argues that discomfort can actually be a sign that we're on the right track.
So it's not always a bad thing.
Not always. If we're stretching ourselves, expanding our horizons.
Okay, like growth happens outside of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
I heard that.
And you remember that funny story she tells about speaking at a conference without her luggage?
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, her suitcase got lost.
Oh, no.
And she had to wear someone else's clothes on stage.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you imagine?
That's every speaker's nightmare.
It is.
What did she do?
Well, she was mortified at first.
Yeah, of course.
Right. She was used to presenting herself in a very polished, professional way.
Yeah.
And here she was feeling completely exposed.
I would have been tempted to hide.
But then she had this epiphany.
Okay.
She realized her message was more important than her wardrobe.
Wow.
And the audience loved her even more for it.
Wow. So her vulnerability made her more relatable and human.
It did.
So the say yes muscle is about being open to new experiences.
Yes.
Saying yes to opportunities that challenge us.
Yeah.
Even if they're scary.
Yeah.
But how do you know when to say yes?
That's a great question.
And when to say no?
It's not about saying yes to everything.
Right.
You have to be discerning. Nichols talks about checking in with your intuition. Does this opportunity feel right? Does it align with my authentic self?
Okay, so pushing ourselves, but also honoring our boundaries.
Exactly.
Right.
Sometimes the most empowering choice is to say no.
Okay, love that. All right, let's talk about the last muscle, the highest choice muscle.
All right, so this muscle is all about aligning our choices with our values and long-term goals.
Okay, so living a life that feels meaningful, even when we're faced with distractions and temptation.
Exactly. So it's about taking a step back, looking at the big picture, considering the impact of our choices, not just now, but in the long run.
I know I get so caught up in the day-to-day, checking things off my to-do list.
Yeah, we all do.
I forget to ask, why am I doing this? Does this even align with my values?
Right.
Yeah.
But the highest choice muscle is about those conscious choices that support our well-being. And you remember Nichols talks about how contemplating her own obituary helped her clarify her priorities.
That's a powerful exercise.
It is. It makes you think, what do I want to be remembered for?
Right. What kind of impact do I want to have on the world?
Exactly.
So to build this highest choice muscle, it's about being mindful, asking ourselves.
Asking those tough questions.
Does this decision move me closer to the life I want?
Yeah.
Does it align with my vision for the future?
Absolutely. And it's recognizing that even small choices matter.
Wow, that's a good point.
They have a ripple effect.
Yeah.
Each decision shapes our lives.
Right.
Contributes to who we're becoming.
It's not about being perfect.
Yeah.
It's about making the best choices we can.
Yes.
And learning from those experiences.
Absolutely.
I'm really seeing how all these muscles work together.
They do. It's not enough to just have determination or say yes to opportunities. We also need to be resilient.
Yeah. Practice forgiveness.
Yeah.
Make choices that align with our values.
It's a whole body fitness plan for our minds and spirits.
This has been so insightful.
It has.
I'm really feeling inspired to put this into practice now.
Me too. And speaking of putting it into practice.
In the next part, we're going to delve into some of the exercises and resources that Nichols provides to actually strengthen these muscles.
I can't wait. All right, so be sure to join us for the final part of this deep dive.
I'm excited.
Welcome back, everyone. We've spent the last 2 parts exploring these 9 bounce-back muscles from Lisa Nichols' book, No Matter What. And I'm feeling pretty energized just from learning about them.
Me too. It's like having this new toolkit for navigating life's challenges.
Yeah. But now I want to talk about how we actually use them. In this final part, I'm really curious to learn about the specific resources and techniques that she provides to help us strengthen those muscles. So where do we even begin?
Well, she offers a variety of options, which is great because everyone learns in different ways.
Right.
For people who thrive in a group setting, she has workshops and seminars, like her No Matter What seminar. I've heard of that.
It's a 2-day immersive experience.
Wow.
Where you can really dive deep into these concepts and connect with other people who are on a similar journey.
I could see how that would be so powerful.
Oh, yeah.
There's something about being in a room with other people who are committed to growth.
It's like a collective energy.
Right.
Yeah, it's very motivating.
And for people who prefer a more self-paced approach.
Yeah, she also has online programs and courses.
Okay, so there's flexibility there.
Right, you can learn at your own speed.
Yeah, on your own schedule.
Exactly.
Now, you mentioned something earlier that I'm really curious about. Paraliminal audio sessions.
Oh, yeah. Those are really cool. They're like guided meditations.
Okay.
But they use music and spoken word to create a whole brain learning experience.
Interesting.
And Nichols actually collaborated with Paul Scheel, who is a pioneer in this field, to develop a paraliminal session specifically for those 9 bounce-back muscles.
So it's like reprogramming your subconscious mind.
It is.
For greater resilience.
Yes. It's based on the idea that our subconscious minds are incredibly powerful. And you can use these audio sessions to bypass that conscious resistance and create lasting change.
I'm going to have to check those out.
Yeah.
What other resources does she recommend?
Well, she also talks about the importance of community.
Okay.
She encourages people to form, no matter what, support groups where they can connect with others who are working on these muscles.
Yeah, it's so helpful to have a support system.
It is, especially when you're facing challenges.
Right.
And these groups can be formed online or in person.
Okay, so accessible to a lot of people.
It's about creating a safe space to share experiences, hold each other accountable, and celebrate successes.
Yeah, I love that. You don't have to do it alone.
You don't. And what I appreciate about Nichols' approach is that she emphasizes taking action.
It's not enough to just read about it.
Yeah, you have to put it into practice.
Yeah, that's where the real transformation happens.
It's about taking those consistent steps.
Those small steps.
That lead to lasting change.
Yes.
What kind of exercises and techniques does she recommend?
Oh, she has tons. She talks about journaling, practicing affirmations, creating vision boards, even role-playing.
Interesting.
To help you embody these new ways of thinking and being.
I'm a big fan of journaling.
Me too. It's such a powerful tool for self-reflection.
Yeah, and processing emotions.
Absolutely.
I think it's really cool that her approach is so holistic.
It is. She addresses the mental, the emotional, the spiritual aspects of resilience.
It's not just about positive thinking.
No,
it's about aligning your actions with your values.
Yes.
Creating a life that feels authentic.
Yeah.
It's a whole body fitness plan for our minds and spirits. Exactly. And it's a journey, not a destination.
Right.
We're always evolving.
Yeah.
And these muscles are there to support us every step of the way.
I love that. As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a sense of hope and possibility.
Me too.
We all have the potential to bounce back from anything.
I do.
And create a life we truly love.
Absolutely.
It's just a matter of tapping into these resources and putting the effort to strengthen them.
If you're feeling stuck, just remember Lisa Nichols' message, no matter what.
Yeah, you've got this. You have the power to overcome anything.
You do.
And create the life you desire.
It's been so great exploring this with you.
Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And for our listeners, I hope you feel empowered to start flexing those bounce back muscles and create a life that feels truly aligned with your authentic selves.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.